I think they need more rights. I think they need due process, and I think they need money. They get a scholarship, but they often don't get an education. They take classes that are designed to keep them on the field as opposed to having a normal major like every other student. A lot of them aren't prepared for college work.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they finish their 4 years, they're not ready to graduate, they're done. They get tossed out.
Once upon a time, it was all about the kids, the players, and a chance at glory while prepping for life after the games. Now the NCAA college basketball tournament for both men and women is about billion-dollar deals, shafting the players out of any meaningful slice of the action, and when they're used up, tossing them aside like somebody used jockstraps. Perfect timing then for a scathing new book that will not only make NCAA overlords pleased at all, as it should be, but it will make them downright angry. INDENTURED, the inside story of the rebellion against the NCAA, details those who decided enough was enough from the career carpetbaggers. Welcome in co-author of the book, contributing writer for the New York Times, Ben Strauss. Ben, thanks so much for joining us. I have been following this story for decades now. I have talked to a lot of NCAA folks. I railed against this 20 years ago, as so many other people did, that these kids were being used and abused. Here's what always comes back from the NCAA, and I heard this billions of times. Hey, Ed, we're giving them a scholarship. They're getting an education. If they don't get the education, it's their own fault. I swear to God, Ben, I wanted to throw rocks at these people when I heard it, because it's that kind of attitude that still permeates to this day, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you could defend the system far, far easier if the kids got the education. But Exhibit A, look at North Carolina. For 25 years, with the knowledge of the athletic department, with the knowledge of the university, funneling these football and these basketball players into fake classes that did not meet. You didn't have to do any work for them. You didn't even have to show up for them. It's criminal, because you go, you play, and you deliver millions, billions of dollars for your school, and you're supposed to be prepared for this better life. 5% of these guys go on to pro careers in the NFL and the NBA, leaving 95% of them without much of an education. Federal graduation rates, 50%. 50% of these guys are graduating.
I got to get this in a short time. Larry Brown is a Hall of Fame basketball coach. A kid named Keith Frazier was the third leading scorer at SMU. All of a sudden, he stopped showing up one day. All Larry Brown has to say is, it's a tragedy now in college sports. Kids leave. This kid's grades had been changed in high school. The SMU people had said to him before, the advisors had said, don't let him in here. He can't handle this. He's not smart enough. Yet they stick him in here and they use him and they make the money off him. Isn't it? It's the coaches, it's the athletic directors, it's every single person on this run that lets these kids basically slide by the system and uses and abuses them. Yes, it's not just one person.
You're right. It's exploitation at its simplest form. You talk about Keith Frazier at SMU. This is a guy who couldn't do college-level work, but they brought him into the school anyway because he's so valuable, because he drives TV money, he drives donations, he drives visibility for the school. That's how much these kids are worth to the schools. And when they are done playing, when they can't play, when they graduate or they don't graduate, that's it. They're on their own.
And let's point out too, we're talking about guys like Ed O'Bannon, who played basketball at UCLA, and others who basically put their lives on hold to go to court. EA Sports just settled a lawsuit with college athletes for $60 million. So let's ask it from this perspective, Ben. Where do we go from here? Lawsuits, your book, people know about this. How does it really get changed?
The change, and it's sad to say, but we've seen lawsuits come through, and they've had some success. They've put some pressure on the NCAA. We had a union movement at Northwestern that put a lot of pressure on the college sports establishment. Nothing has fundamentally changed, though. And I think you really want to change the system. You can look at what happened at the University of Missouri just last year when the football team, there were issues of racism on campus, and the team said, we're not going to play on Saturday until this gets fixed. And as soon as the football team got involved and went on strike, essentially, the university president resigned within 36 hours. So you want to know how this is going to change? Just imagine a basketball team not coming out for the Final Four a couple weeks from now. I think you'd have change in half an hour. It would happen so fast, it would make your head spin.
Ben, I only got 30 seconds left, but is it not fair to say that your book is important, the information in here is important, but you have university presidents, athletic directors, head coaches who are sitting back right now going, this guy's isn't just another book. It won't do a damn thing. We're going to do business as usual. Isn't that the horrible thing about all this?
Well, you're right. Just look at what happened over the weekend. You had buzzer beaters. You had a whole lot of excitement over these basketball games, and that's what happens. The entertainment, sort of dwarfs the real fundamental issues that need to be grappled with. And next weekend, it's going to happen again when we have these Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games.
I'll tell you what, I love the idea. I would love for a Final Four to come out or a championship game and one team just to say, we're not going to play. My God, the bomb that would drop in the NCAA, that might be exactly what it takes. I want to remind people, I've watched this story for a long time. This is an important book. Read it. Indentured, the inside story of the rebellion against the NCAA, the way they use and abuse these kids, the way they toss them aside. It is criminal, yet they get away and they make millions. Ben Strauss, thanks so much. Much luck with the book. I hope we get a chance to talk again and talk about some positives here. You stay with us. The fastest 60 minutes of news, The Hardline, will continue.